This is the first time I have ridden this bike anywhere outside of my town in over 5 months, and it's raining. Typical. Now, why haven't I ridden the bike for the last 5 months? Well, I actually have been riding the bike, but unfortunately, due to the lockdown that we are in here in the UK, for 5 months I've not been allowed to leave the town where I live unless considered essential. Looking at the odometer, I've done almost 2,000 miles since I bought it last year, and it's been really good so far. Average MPG is 77 miles to the gallon. Cost me about £10 UK to fill it, probably, which is, I'm guessing, around $15, something like that in the US. So very economical bike to be running, very economical so far. But we're about to find out, when it comes to cost, how much this bike really costs, because today I'm now taking the bike to my nearest BMW dealer to be MOT'd and serviced at the same time, and that means my nearest dealer is a 52-mile journey from where I live. So we've got a couple of firsts here. This is the first time I've ridden this bike in the pouring rain, and the other is this is the first time I have ridden in my protective or weatherproof protective gear. That said, I'm absolutely loving this. It feels like an adventure being on this bike despite the pouring rain. Is an absolute adventure. Whether that's because I've been in lockdown for months and haven't been able to leave my hometown for so long, I don't know. That could be affecting my view of all this, but I really don't care why. I am really enjoying getting out on this bike and riding it outside for a reasonable distance. Now, someone did message me and ask me about the screen on this bike. You may notice that the screen on it is not the standard screen. This is a screen I ordered third party from a website. I'll put it up where I got it from. It cost me about £70 UK. Well worth the money, because the screen you get with the standard OEM model is nowhere near good enough to protect you from wind blast. This bike feels like a proper adventure machine now. Riding it like this in the adverse weather conditions is really exciting, and definitely a lot more fun than being in a car, I can tell you. I really do think you could get on this bike and ride it all day long without getting any aches or pains. I don't know whether you can see on the road here, there's some like patches in the road. There's like a big long strip going down the middle of the road where they've clearly laid some kind of cabling or something like that and then repatched the road. That is really causing this bike to get quite sketchy on the road. It's causing it to, when the tyres touch this patched up strip in the centre of the road, it makes the bike really twitchy. Now, I've not been to this dealer before, so hopefully we're in the right place. So I finally got here outside the BMW dealer, done my 52-mile journey and found that another customer here has driven over 85 miles to get his BMW serviced. He's actually come even further than I have. Well, let's go and have a look at some of the bikes while mine's being done and try not to spend any money. This one is the one I think I would like next. So this is their demonstrator, BMW 1250 Rally. Really, really nice bike. Really like it. Love the gold wheels. Absolutely love it. It's a perfect bike that for travelling around, I reckon. Perfect adventure bike. Really does look the part. But it's expensive. Alternatively, this is the 850 Rally. This is the latest one. Again, going for the gold wheels, but obviously not the horizontally opposed engine on this. This is not the boxer engine, which is, I think, makes it a little bit easier to handle, less heavy. I think once the lockdown expires and we start to be allowed to go out and test ride these things, I'm going to do it. Bike's done. Renault. Let's plan a adventurous route home. At the moment, it's taking us through what appears to be a normal community area, but we do seem to be getting into a bit of beaten track type stuff in a bit. One thing I did make as an observation while I was in that BMW dealer is that there's a lot of old people there. Everyone in there was at least in their late 50s, early 60s, having their bikes serviced. So yeah, maybe that's the demographic of a BMW bike rider. Oh, and look, the sat-nav has done its job. We have got an adventure trail. Wow. I've got to admit, this sat-nav never ceases to amaze me with the extraordinary roads it manages to find. Now, unfortunately, the TomTom has just switched itself off. Now it does do this, it's most annoying, you have to sort of give it a tap. I've lost the sat-nav screen, it switched itself off for no apparent reason. This is a bug with the TomTom rider, which I thought I'd solved by setting it to a permanent orientation. In other words, a non-rotated screen, but it clearly hasn't solved the damn problem, which is really annoying. Now I'm going to have to pull over here because I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to carry on or stop. So we're going to have to get this sat nav working. This is so annoying. Okay, we're going right here. Wow, some of these views are amazing. How does it do this? How does it find these roads? Look at this. My goodness, I cannot believe the views I'm seeing on this. You'd think I was in Scotland. Look at it. This is just absolutely phenomenal, and yet I'm only 30 or so miles from my home. I can't believe this. We are back. No thanks to the TomTom sat-nav, which has failed. Okay, so let's have a look at the final bill for servicing this BMW G310 GS. So health check and MOT was free, because as a BMW owner going to a BMW dealer, they do it for free, or they did for me anyway. Carrying out the service was £39.58. Engine oil, it says here, oil change in the engine with the filter, using their Advantech Pro oil, and environmental disposal of the old oil came to £71.16. Then you've got the brake fluid. It says renew brake fluid in the entire system, and do the brake cleaning, and that came to £50.92. There's a lot of it here. And then finally, it's just some notes here, which just says checked brake pads all round, 90% left, all okay. And it also says on the tyres 5mm of tread left, all okay. So there you go. So the total for all of that came to £193.99. So there you have it. That was the total bill for servicing this GS. Now you could say, well, you could take it to an independent dealer. I always take my cars and bikes to the main dealers, and one of the best reasons I can give for that is that the dealers have all the latest updates and any issues that might be apparent with the vehicle. And an excellent example of this is I've got an 8-year-old BMW X5 M50D, and despite it being 8 years old, it went in for a service last year, and whilst it was being serviced, I had a brand new prop shaft supplied and fitted completely free. And the reason for that was because it was a main dealer. They were aware that there was an issue with the prop shaft, and so they supplied it and fitted it for free, which probably wouldn't have happened with an independent dealer. And there's also things like software updates, firmware updates, all this kind of thing, which on products like this, which are modern high-tech products, even the basic GS has a lot of technology on it. So that's why I use a main dealer. And of course it always adds to the value if you come to resell the vehicle. So there you have it. That's a summary of the service and MOT costs for this GS310. Hope you found it useful, and I'll catch you in the next one.